Hey everyone, Thyworm here with the weekly top 5 Discord comments. Welcome to week 2. This week I've picked some very interesting comments, ideas that signify some issues within the game for example, or just simply great ideas. I'll go into these ideas and give you my thoughts. First comment: we need more uses for legendary mats by Ultimate Light. And he posts a picture of him having 1955 artifacts. Yeah, I hear you, it's a lot of artifacts and not a lot of use for those artifacts. Normally they're used to level your abilities, but you only need to do that once on every hero because we currently are not allowed to respec. Also, you can craft legendaries with them, but in its current state legendaries are quite useless compared to reforged epics. So what would be a good way to spend all these materials? Well, I wouldn't mind trading them for epic materials or break them down into epic materials or something like that. Or they could allow us to sell them. Not that gold is of any use, but hey. I'm always short on epic materials because of all that reforging, so mainly something in that direction would be really great. Any other uses for this stuff? I can't really think of something that would make sense in Pagan Online, but if you have a good idea, leave it in the comments. Second one: shrines and explosive traps should be useful or removed by Bazaar. Bit of a random comment selection from my end, and I was wondering, are they really that useless? I've bombed some enemies with fireworks for example, and yesterday I managed to lure enemies on top of a minefield and those mines killed off half of the wave, which I thought was pretty hilarious. So even though many people seem to upvote the comment, which is fine of course, I don't necessarily see this as an issue, but correct me if I'm wrong. I do completely agree with the shrines and the RNG they generate. While I think the RNG is somewhat of a nice element to the arena brawler encounters, it's also very unreliable and most of the time I'm not risking it. So I'm thinking, what would need to change in order for me to risk clicking that shrine? And I can just give you my default answer when looking for motivation in Pagan Online. Give me crafting materials. I just want crafting materials. The epic ones, not the legendary ones of course. So yeah, dear developers, that is it. Next comment: have all characters available from the beginning by Phoenix Eraser. Not a very popular suggestion, this one. And I'm actually glad to see that this is not a popular suggestion. I'll tell you why. While I do agree that Pagan Online's character selection at the start of the game is quite unforgiving, one of the biggest perks of this game is the progression system. It feels fresh, it feels fair, and it is rewarding. Yeah, it can be frustrating to be stuck with a hero from the start, forcing you to unlock Lucian and then being able to play another character. Totally agree. A good solution would just be a testing ground up front, like a testing arena, where you can play the 3 characters to see which one you like, and then you have to pick one. But unlocking all characters? Nah, that would take away a pretty large portion of the reasons to play this game at all. Unlocking heroes is really fun and very satisfying. You need to gear up, grind some missions, gather some materials, unlock the hero, then level up that hero, gear that hero. I think it's a lot of fun. And because heroes are very different from each other, unlocking another hero adds another layer to the playability of Pagan Online. It's the type of complexity I would not want to see disappear, or changed at all, really. I think this is a part of the game that has been done extremely well. And I'm glad the community agrees here. Please keep hero unlocking an essential part of the game. This does not need fixing. Fourth comment: item filter to disable certain quality by Gonji. A true classic: loot filters or loot visibility options, usually done by pressing Alt, as Gonji points out. This is in my opinion a very essential part of a loot game. We should be allowed to filter our loot up front, especially once you start grinding expeditions on master difficulty. Your entire screen will be filled with loot, not just like 20 pieces, no, like close to 50 pieces if not more. Some of those you pick up automatically, thank the pagan gods, but most of the irregular items just lay there. You have to hover your mouse over every individual item to check its quality, for example, or to check the statistics on them. And it takes a while, as you can imagine. Loot filters or loot options mitigate this problem. It's a simple solution, it's a clean solution, I like it. Mod makers or script makers could even be allowed to create specific loot filters like you have in Path of Exile. You can't really seriously play that game without one, and when Pagan Online gets a bit more fleshed out, that will be true here as well. So a great suggestion, let's hope we get this somewhere down the line. The last comment of the week: non-white items should be allowed to have a chance to drop with quality, by Tariq Nasheed. This is a very interesting suggestion, I feel. It is on purpose, I would say, that this is not the case currently. These days, every non-white item drop is of the common quality. By making this decision, the developers are putting an emphasis on crafting, because crafting allows you to craft items of superior or flawless quality. This is a conscious choice, I feel, and it is in line with Mad Hat Games' vision of crafting in this game. So let's assume that we change this. What would happen? Well, what would happen is that crafting loses its prime position as the only way to create basically the absolute best items in the game. It now gets competition from enemies dropping superior and flawless epic items, and those items can then be reforged to create some pretty stunning gear. You would end up basically with yet another way to create endgame items, not only by crafting but also by farming levels and getting loot drops. Now, is that a good idea? Because a lot of people think this is a good idea. It's got 22 upvotes. And I think it is a pretty good idea. It would solve multiple issues currently. For example, the shortage of crafting materials, because farming those is just generally pretty boring. Also, it gives people who do not want to craft all this stuff from scratch an opportunity to get endgame gear. And that's worth quite a bit in my opinion. Some people just like playing the instances instead of crafting, and I cannot blame them because crafting can be rather tedious at times. I don't really see any real downsides to implement this suggestion. I think the variety you'd get from this will really benefit the game, so let's hope this makes it into our lovely action RPG. This also wraps it up for the week. Subscribe for more Pagan videos and tutorials. I'll do 5 more comments next week, but for now, bye bye.